All right. Hello. Good morning. Having a short stream here. I just want to give you an update on what we did last time. Like I was completely stuck with this weird Firebase behavior, and it was just insane. And I had no idea what actually happened there, but I had to clear out the storage, and then suddenly it started working. So who knows? Anyways, I got some more work done on the thingy, so I thought maybe we could add something new now. Let's see. Let me restart the thing. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can show you that as well. Let's see. Let's start this. And so I fixed, like there's minor issues all the time. That's what it's like building something. But yeah, now it's actually running. So if I refresh here now, there you see, I'm authenticated. It's created a profile, which is pretty cool. Now you start to see stuff happening here. So that's awesome. What I also looked into was like testing, and this is where you see the power of inversion of control. Now, for example, if I want to create a test for the family, so the family is implemented like this. What I want is to, when I test this family, it depends on the API, but I don't want to actually use the API. I want to mock the API. So when you do this injection, you get that for free, which means that when I run this family test, I just create a container with whatever class I want to test. And then if that family uses some other class that's not being provided by the container, it will throw an error and tell you that it's not been implemented. So what I do here is, since the family depends on API, I just create a mock, API mock. And then I can test it, which is awesome, right? So that's super, super nice. And I made it possible to add the tests next to the actual files here. Anyways, so what I thought we would do now is to introduce like the actual pages of the thing. Wow, it lags like crazy here. I guess it's Ecamm, like the streaming app I'm using. It's not like this when I'm not doing the stream. Anyways, yes, let's see. Yeah, okay, so let's try to add the actual dashboard here. So what am I supposed to call it? Like in Codesandbox, we're calling it app. But I think it's more sane to call it like a dashboard. So we'll have a dashboard. It's going to be disposable because we're going to create a new dashboard whenever we authenticate, or we get into the authenticated state. Anyways, so we have the dashboard, and it needs to it doesn't really need to do anything. Like it's just going to flip between the different pages, so at least we can use a state machine for that. But we are not going to do anything asynchronous, so we don't need a resolver, I think. Okay, let's try this. So we have the dashboard. This dashboard needs to be connected to auth, because the auth is going to actually create new dashboards. Oh, yeah, like every time I make changes to files, parcel updates, and then the runtime information is passed in again. That's interesting. Not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, maybe we would have to like batch up stuff and then it will kind of commit the changes. I don't know. Okay, anyways, we've given the auth class the ability to create dashboards now. But what's interesting, I think, is that, well, I don't know yet, but what's going to be interesting is, I guess, is that, for example, so what's going to be interesting is how the screen where we create new backlog items, that needs to know about the profile, right? So the question is, how do we deal with that? So what actually holds the profile now is the auth. So what's possible to do is to, we can connect the auth back to whatever we need to have access to the profile. So that's possible. So for example, we might have a create backlog item here, which the dashboard is responsible for creating. But then the create backlog item can depend on the auth because it needs access to the profile, for example. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, we'll just keep exploring this stuff. So let's look at the dashboard. I can't really remember. Let's see, Codesandbox. By the way, there was a new release. I worked on this responsive preview feature on Codesandbox, and it was released yesterday, which is kind of cool. There's more to come related to that, actually. Let's see, let's refresh. It basically just allows you to put the preview in different resolutions. So for example, we built this for mobile, so it would be nice to have had this responsive preview when we were building the app here. But yeah, let's see. OMG. By the way, I ordered the new Mac Mini yesterday. It might be a bit too early. I don't know how much more performant it actually is related to running like Node and Chrome and stuff like that. But I guess it will just be faster and faster as they take more advantage of the new silicon stuff at Apple. But it's quite groundbreaking what they're doing there. Like in terms of performance or theoretical performance at least. Wow, did the whole thing break now? Whoa. But yeah, hopefully, there we go. Anyways, Overmind, what do we call it? We have like the app machine. Right, we're back. Shit, my internet connection completely dropped. I don't know, have you ever experienced that with Macs? The Wi-Fi just stops working. You have to turn the Wi-Fi off and on again, and then suddenly it starts working again. It's super weird. Anyways, so what we have here is, okay, so I'm keeping the backlog and all this stuff here, which we're still going to do. But then we have these different states. Okay, so let's implement these states. So we have home, we have add backlog item, we have edit next week, And we have, oops. Edit next week, edit current week. And then we added the family thingy. Family. Okay, so when I'm home, I should be able to go to add backlog item, edit next week, edit current week, family. Oh yeah, I think actually we do need a resolver here, maybe. Yeah, anyways. And then on add backlog item, I should be able to move back to home. On edit next week, I should be able to move back to home. On edit current week, I should be able to move back to home. And family, I should be able to move back to home. Cool. So what's, yeah, we'll add this later. And then we can add, let's see, backlog items. Okay, so we need, let's just copy these. Yeah, we got quite a bit of types here. Let's see. And then current would be home. And we need to add some other stuff here. We need to add, so let's see, can I use, yeah, here we are. So we're going to have this backlog, which is like backlog items. And I guess we can just initialize that. And then we have days, backlog item. Oh, days by backlog item. And how is this defined? It's just initialized as well. And then we have, well, maybe I can look here instead. Oh, then we have the notification thingy. And that's, yeah, that's a machine in itself. Okay, anyways, backlog list. And I think backlog list is like a computed. No, that's computed. So that's going to be interesting. Backlog list. Yeah, get backlog list. Oh, how does this work? Because one thing I noticed with MobX is that you have to use this use define for class fields. Yeah, so if you were to define something that's not initialized, especially a getter. So I had problems with the injection actually. But anyways, doesn't matter. Maybe I can have those further down. Previous weekdays. Yeah, let's, everything should be previous. That's, what are those? Previous weekdays. Yeah, it's just a string array. I have to just do this for now. That was previous weekdays, and now we have current weekdays. And then we also have next weekdays. Cool. Next weekdays. And then we have another computed, which is backlog items by day. Backlog items by day. Cool. So what's nice now is that I don't have to, is this like a, this is an object. I don't have to do all this typing. The only thing I needed to type is the state machine, but that's like a given. Cool. So now we have all of this, all of this stuff. And if I save this now, yeah, you can see here, we're populating our dashboard. That's nice. Oh, don't I have, let's see, let me just, okay, I'm just going to fix the, let's see, client components, flowchart, current class, computed. I thought I'd fixed, oh yeah, didn't I do that? Let's see, observable, it should have like a margin bottom. So when I click this now, yeah, that looks good. Okay, I have to go. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue implementing the dashboard. And what I'm curious about is how we deal with, let's see. So all of this is good, like the derived and everything. What I'm curious about is that we're using a state machine now, where we have this state property. And so the thing is, like, the way you would point to, for example, add backlog item would be like state auth yeah, so we would have to kind of do what we did previously. So this would be like inside a component. You will kind of get, let's call it a store, use store. And then you would say like if not store state current equals authenticated, we would just return null, right? Because the components themselves doesn't understand the context they're in. So they have to ensure that they're actually in a valid context to run. So this component shouldn't render anything if we're not authenticated. Like, it will never be rendered unless you are authenticated. And that's kind of the tricky thing here. It's like, do we want every component to live on its own, or should it understand the context it's in? So, oh shit, I have to go. So should it rather be passed substore? Like, should it be passed the stores they depend on, or should I just use it from the context? And this is a kind of a tricky thing, but we just need to explore that, see how that works. Anyways, I have to go, and then I don't know when I get time to stream the next time. But yeah, it's super fun to explore this concept, and I really want to build like an actual app and see how this works before I start like considering actually releasing this and making like an actual library out of it. But it's shaping up nicely this far. Also, I played around with building like a to-dos app yesterday, and I'm kind of implementing it, and it doesn't feel quite right immediately because my mindset is so different. But then I play around with it, and then it looks really, really good. And I know that I'm taking care of all the edge cases in terms of dealing with errors, with disposing, managing complex states using the state machine. So it's very, very interesting. Anyways, I have to go. Talk to you later. Bye for now.